Namaste, my name is Shiva and I'm from India. So, the basic concept of this YouTube channel is to introduce different kinds of cuisines which are inculcated into the Indian cuisine. India is a land of tradition with so much of history, so many different dishes. It's a land where so many people of so many cultures live together. We've got 29 states in the country. Each state has its uniqueness in the dishes. Each state has different recipes, the standing out recipes, the melt in the mouth recipes. So we are going to pick up these kind of recipes and we are going to add international standing. The perfect way to reach anyone, is you don't have to know the language, but you can reach their hearts through the food. So food is heart, food is soul, food is love, food is life. So today we are going to make Maggi Cheese Kebab, which is also called noodle cheese kebab with a twist of India. We're going to add in lots of different spices found across the country. So let's look at how to make this recipe. We have placed the earthen pot on the fire. So this is made of clay. It's really ideal for cooking. It makes the dish really tasteful. So this is mostly found in Indian traditional cooking. So today we are going to make use of this bad boy, the internationally famous Maggi noodles, the 2 minutes Maggi noodles. So we are going to create a unique recipe with the noodles. So let's see what that recipe is going to be. So for this, we will need to boil some cakes of noodles. That's it. To enhance the flavor of the water, let's add a couple of garlic pods to the boiling water. Just peel them, crush them, and then add it to the water. And then drop it in the water. To the boiling water, I'm just going to give it a good stir so that the garlic gets really inside. To this now I'm adding just a few leaves of coriander because this will give us a nice earthy taste to the water. And now I'm also adding 1 green chili to this. let's check if the noodles are boiled enough. So these are pretty soft already. Yes, these are cooked now. So we can drain all the water from the pot. So just tossing and turning it lets the extra steam escape from the noodles. So this is good enough now. Chop some coriander. Let's chop a little bit of coriander. Let's add it to the noodle mixture. So let's take it off the stove. So here I've got a mixture of turmeric, coriander powder, cumin powder, a little bit of sugar and salt. They were all roasted, and then the sugar and salt are added just before they are blended into a fine powder, as you can see, which I've got here. So to this I've also added half a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, and a quarter teaspoon of ginger powder. So now let's add in this spice mix to the cooked noodles. So you also get this taste maker along with the noodles. So when making noodles, they usually add this taste maker to the boiling water, but we did not do that, but instead we are going to add this taste maker to the cooked noodles. So all we need to do now is we just have to make the patties. Stuff it with some cheese, crumbled cheese, and then we are all ready to feed on these delicacies. They just melt in your mouth when they are cooked. To our mixture of noodles, we will also be adding some garlic infused butter. So for that we need about 3 pods of garlic, finely chopped. So let's finely chop these 3 pods of garlic. Melt the butter, throw in the garlic, let it fry for a minute, and then add it to the mixture. So we have some finely chopped garlic here. So let's quickly melt the butter. Here I have some unsalted butter. You can always go for salted butter as well. If you're going for salted butter, just make sure that the mixture doesn't get too salty. So here I'm adding about 20 grams of butter. So let the butter melt. So to this melted butter, let's add our chopped garlic and then give it a good stir. So we've added dried oregano. If you want that hint of spice to your patties, you can add some chili flakes. the dried chili flakes to our mixture. Now let's add this melted butter. So let's put the frying pan onto the flame. Let it heat a little. So here we've got some cheese, just regular cheese. Let's scoop out some cheese. Just crumble the cheese a little so that it will get easier for us to work with it. Also to the cheese, if you prefer, you can add in more oregano, you can add in some thyme, rosemary, any herbs you want, or you can just use it the way it is. So now let's start making the patties. So take about a big lemon-sized dough into the hand. Just gently press it in the middle. Put some cheese in the middle of the patty and then slightly start covering the patty from the end towards the center. So that way all the cheese gets firmly packed inside the patty and it doesn't break out when we are frying the patties. Repeat the procedure. You should be able to make about 20 to 25 patties with these quantities. So I'll just give you some tips to enhance the flavor of your dough. If you're patient enough, you could brown some onions in oil, butter, and you could also add those browned onions to the dough. So we will not be deep frying these patties, but we will be going a little healthy. So we will be shallow frying these patties. So let's add some oil to the hot pan. Just enough of oil to shallow fry the patties. So now we have all the patties ready. So these are quite firm and good to be fried. So let's start frying these patties one by one. Fry these for about a couple of minutes if you're cooking on a high flame. If you're cooking them on a low flame, fry them for about 3.5 to 4 minutes. On the first side and about 1.5 minutes on the second. Just give it a gentle press on the top of these patties so that everything gets cooked evenly. It just has to be slightly golden brown in color. If you leave them on the pan on the same side, you might end up burning them. So it's important that you keep flipping it and just checking for the color. So if you can see, this is the perfect color that we are looking for. We want the patties to be all in this color, both the sides. So let's undish these from the pan. So we can serve it with lemon, squeeze some lemon on the top. So you can add in as many beautifications as you want to make the final dish look glorious. So I'm adding whatever I've got handy here. So I'm adding some green chilies, I'm adding some ground ginger, I've added a few pieces of lemon, I've added some coriander. You could squeeze in some coriander on the top, you could squeeze in some lemon on the top of coriander, add slightly a dash of salt, and you could use that as a salad for munching along with these patties.